front of you every day. All we have to do is spread the word.
My name is Anton. I'm from Ukraine. Family? Last family when I see? Yeah. Okay, already past 2 months.
So how do we develop this world in a way that's fair, that fairly shares the resources that God has given us?
We do not have decades up our sleeves to find a solution to our environmental problems. Solutions will not be found in better arguments or new documents or better science even, but in concerted political actions that address directly questions of power, corruption, influence peddling that support and maintain the fossil fuel industry here and abroad.
There are some people out there in Kiribati who knows what the risks are, but there are some who need to learn more that the impacts of climate change will not just affect them, but their future as well.
What can I do to make a difference? I sort of took up the field of art 5 years ago, and in the hope or in the belief in the faith that would make a difference and make a change. So I'm always constantly reflecting on what I'm doing to make it move forward and reach a bigger audience and make a bigger impact. Works about climate change and emissions, they're addressing the symptoms, not the cause. And the real cause is our disconnection from each other. We aren't necessarily connected to the people who are going to suffer the most under climate change. And also we're disconnected from nature, so we don't necessarily see the impacts we're having on nature as part of us or part of things we can actually act on and believe in.
Streets are getting dark, smell the smoke rising, from the parliament to the pulpit, penthouse to the park. Change this country, somebody's gotta change this town. 'Cause if salt loses its saltiness, it's good for nothing, it's hellfire bound.
Trying to find a remedy with a melody of agony and tears, uncertainty of tomorrow. We, children of a broken world, are not safe in our backyards.
I am the princess and the pea. I know you never disagree. I might drive you mad, but it's not all bad, because I like you, and only the best will do. Only the best will do.
I believe passionately, in the next 40, 50 years, you'll see these things. The gap between the rich and poor internationally will diminish, and frankly, it is. You know, more women can read than they could 20 years ago, globally. More children are going to school globally. So these things are happening, but good news doesn't sell papers and it doesn't get pumped up on social media. And I will tell you that climate change will be fundamentally going into reverse because it's not sustainable to do what we're doing. The question is, will we be in a position to mobilise our people to see that that's the case? We have to engage. That's our challenge, but it's also our hope. But I think we have to push beyond hope to live in expectation. Hope's not going to be enough. Expectation. I get motivated by this in a poem I recently found from a young Afghan asylum seeker who wrote on the wall of a detention centre in Australia. He wrote, "I don't know what will happen after I die. I don't want to know. But I want the potter to make a whistle from the clay of my throat, and for that whistle to fall into the hands of a naughty child, and for that child to blow on that whistle with all the silent and suppressed air in his lungs, so that it may disturb the sleep of those who are dead to my cries." So that's our challenge, and it's also our hope, to mobilise ourselves. For it is futile, and I'll end on this, it is futile for earthbound humanity to cling to the dark and the poisoning superstition that our world ends at the nearest hill, stops at the river shore, or is enclosed in the tight circle of those who share our town, our views, and the colour of our skin. It is the challenge for all people of goodwill, especially the young, to work together to strip the last cruel remnants of that ancient belief from the fabric of humanity. It's been done before, and it'll have to be done again. Our planet is crying out, and the time is now. We are here. Thank you.